Yo, check it out, it's the commander-in-chief. Lost in the shuffle and feeling some grief. He's got the walker rolling down the oval hall, trying to slip out the ice cream stand but takes a fall, mixing up his lines with the teleprompter. Oh no, wandering around the garden trying to find the front row. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles. Where did he go? Got the nurse on the speed dial, cause he's off the rails, needing fresh diapers, leaving slip trails. In the briefing room, forgot the names, mixing up the policies, but who's to blame? Holding on to the podium, this is game. Gotta find the ice cream and try to explain. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles. Where did he go? Got the nurse on the speed dial, cause he's off the rails, needing fresh diapers, leaving stiff trails. Ladies at the home know, oh he's got a plan, smelling like vanilla, doing all he can. Going down the hall, but he's losing his aim, trying to keep it fresh, but can't recall his name. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles. Where did he go? Got the nurse on the speed dial, cause he's off the rails, needing fresh diapers, leaving slip trails. In the briefing room, forgot the names, mixing up the policies, but who's to blame? Holding on to the podium, this is game. Gotta find the ice cream and try to explain. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles. Where did he go?
What is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Cryptonaut channel, and thank you guys so much for joining. And I see we have new faces here today. That is definitely exciting. But good afternoon, Bear. Thank you so much for making it. And Crazy Chester, welcoming all of the fellow Cryptonauts. David, thank you so much. Para mi manzana in Spanish. Thank you so much for that, David. I appreciate it. And Kukla, I hope that you are well recovered from the birthday day and having an amazing birthday week. Still at this point, I know that we already chatted earlier, and it's going to be an exciting week. It's going to be an exciting week. Oh, welcome, GG. Absolutely. Another super day of learning. We have a fun little one to go through today real quick. And then the news, of course, I imagine y'all noticed by the title of the video today, we do have some big news in terms of the Trump administration and their opinion and feelings on crypto. And so definitely excited to jump into that one. Oh, welcome, Arlene. Welcome, Arlene, and thank you so much for the thumbs up. What's up, Sandy? Welcome. And NM Hiker, finally get alive, Jamie. Welcome, Hiker. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm glad that you got to be live with us for this one. It's always fun when we get to actually chat a little bit. And welcome, Greg. Glad that you could make it as well, man. Oh, Mary Jones, Pirate 2 Godly, Sassy. Oh, Hands to Heart Pottery. And then, of course, Roll Lady, can you please, of course, thank you for tuning in. And can you please make a video to place the extra security code on Ledger, please? We can do that one. We can do that one, Roll Lady. I would say that the extra security code on Ledger is kind of a very, very specific use case. But I do have it on one or two of my ledgers. And so we can definitely make a video showing everyone what it entails. I imagine that one will be, it's a slightly more advanced lesson, but definitely can do that one for you, Roll Lady, because I know some people do want to have that one. And I'll talk about actually, when we do it, I'll talk about the reasons behind why you would want one. All right, but of course, everything and anything that is discussed on the Crazy Cryptonaut channel is for entertainment and educational purposes alone and should never be viewed as financial advice. Please consult with a professional financial advisor before making any major investment decisions. Thank you, Kukla, as always, for that one because it is important. It is important. All right, though, guys, I'm excited about the news today that we get to jump into. I am particularly excited. We got some good stuff. Diane Viva is Coinbase okay? Coinbase is your best option as an American citizen in terms of getting your money into crypto and out of crypto. In terms of the fees, in terms of the options, the ease of access, it's the best in terms of that. Now, it is a publicly traded company. Do keep in mind whenever you are utilizing Coinbase that any of those 3-letter, 4-letter, however many letters fit into the acronym of said regulatory body, that Coinbase is going to be giving all of that information over. And so do not expect to not have a tax bill show up if you do particularly well on Coinbase. Those are the type of things that you keep in mind. It's just following the rules. The rules can be really silly at times, but the safe thing or the best thing about utilizing Coinbase is not really for using it to do everything. It's a matter of getting your money from your fiat, from your bank account into crypto and out of crypto. That is where I really love to use Coinbase just because it's so easy. The transfer fees between your bank and Coinbase are zero. The trading fees actually on the platform are the lowest option that we really have in terms of being U.S. citizens. And so Coinbase is okay in the fact that it is a tool for us to use. And this is not an endorsement of the company in the slightest fashion. I own no stock in Coinbase, despite it being a publicly traded company. But I do use its service when I am trying to get on and off. All right. NM Hiker, what about Uphold? I actually have a video on that one, NM Hiker. And so let me try to locate that video rapidly because I do have one specifically discussing it. And that in and of itself would probably be the easiest place to send you to it first. And then if there are any more questions regarding Uphold, I definitely can dive deeper into that one. And so that link that I just shared inside of the chat is the Uphold video for you, Hiker. And it goes through and shows you how to remove XRP specifically, but we also do a little bit more during the video on the exchange. So hopefully that one will answer some of the questions. If not, definitely I've got you, Hiker. We'll get you the answer live. All right. Oh, Arlene, I've shared your videos with some friends, and they say you are a very kind and well-mannered young man. Great teacher, too. Thank you so much, Arlene, and I really appreciate you sharing the videos. It is not easy to get your videos out there, and a lot of the information that we discuss is extremely important, and that makes it that makes it definitely very much appreciated when you're sharing it out there with people. It's something where we're all going to end up owning cryptocurrency, whether we want to or not. Your money's going to turn into a cryptocurrency. It's better that we learn now than we learn after the fact. At that point in time, yeah, you're going to be playing catch up. And so I'm glad that you are sharing those, Arlene. And I hope that they are all appreciating it and that they're gaining things from it because it's something that it's like the artificial intelligence, like the AI. It's going to control our lives going into the future. We're better off understanding it now. So thank you so much, Arlene, for watching and sharing. Oh, Nika Zester, what is your take on Ripple's campaign to promote CBDCs? Why is Ripple choosing this CBDC path? Brad was in Davos at the World Economic Forum meeting earlier this year. Is Ripple part of the deep state? Nika, there's a lot to dive into there. Ripple is promoting CBDCs. Ripple's one of their major facets of their business model are central Well. You want to talk about a pain in the butt? My power situation has been extremely timely, where it seems to be very much focused on cutting out whenever I am live or on a show. My apologies to everyone. I am back. I am back. So yes. Captain Spiffy, y'all broke me. Y'all broke me. Thank you guys for everyone else that has joined in. I'm going to try to jump back in to answering this question for Nika because it is a really important one for everyone that is an XRP holder. So glad to be back. Glad to be back. Rumble and everything else should be popping back up as well at this point in time. But Nika, Ripple is very focused on the CBD path. And so that's actually something that we've gone into on the show. If you go over to the Ripple website, you will see on their very account what they say. When you come on down here and you go over to central bank digital currencies, these are one of the 3 things Ripple is focused on. And they are planning on creating and have already created essentially a government handbook to control the masses. They will provide any government or any central bank with a very, very easy to utilize platform that allows them complete control over the monetary supply. That is worrying, needless to say. Keep in mind, it states literally on their website, Ripple is providing a platform where banks can use the platform's cryptographic multi-sign controls to mint their digital currencies or stable coins. They can then distribute them how they see, and they are capable of destroying these central bank digital currencies. The CBDC platform supports the secure destruction of currency, giving the bank full control over supply. And so, Nika, I would say that there is something to be said there. Now, the counter to that, Nika, is I am actually going to be going and buying Ripple on this live stream. And so one of the next things we're going to do is we're going to be purchasing Ripple. Am I saying that I fully support everything that the company does? No. But there is an amazing and a huge opportunity coming up in the form of tokenized assets. And so that's the idea of taking a real world asset and tokenizing it and placing it on the blockchain. Ripple is at the forefront of doing that. And so that in and of itself is an industry that is going to grow exponentially in the coming years. Expectations are for tokenized assets as an industry to reach a valuation of $10 trillion. Yes, that is with a T, by 2030. And so right now they are valued at maybe 100 million. And that means as an industry, it's expected to grow by 100x, 100 times the size that it is today or more, depending on whose estimates you look at. And so while I have problems with the company and what they're providing, and I do think that there's a degree of almost having to, making a deal with a somewhat shady character, which is how I do feel when it comes to buying XRP. I do feel like as a company, they're extremely shady. I have an entire history to go through of that, where Ripple's company has sold tokens onto their holders. They've done all kinds of things, but they have survived, and they have always maintained their vision. Their vision is to create essentially a massive infrastructure for handling global transactions. They have succeeded in creating that. And so while I may have issues with them as a company, their product in and of itself is something that I do own. I do own it, and I'm planning on buying more actually on the live stream today. And so in a slightly more interesting manner and utilizing a tool that I think many people will benefit from learning about. And so I had made a video about utilizing Changelly before, And now we're going to be actually utilizing it again. And that should help out with a lot of people when they're trying to make different transactions. So I suppose that was a very long and circular way of getting to the point of XRP has a lot of things going on that make me very, very worried. But I hold XRP and I plan on buying more XRP. So I suppose that in and of itself is a bit of a maybe a logical or a moral complication at some point in time where logically I believe that the price of XRP is going to go up. Morally, I am very, very worried about what they plan on doing with their power. And so that is where I sit in terms of the dynamic. I believe the price will go up. I also believe that there is a serious worry to be had that they may utilize this technology in an improper fashion. That leaves you sitting between a rock and a hard place. If you don't choose to purchase and benefit from the price increases, somebody else will. If you choose to purchase it, are you supporting their ability to further expand? I am not certain. I am not certain. Kukla, still waiting on Zester. Kukla, I think you need to refresh. I believe that I am live. If I am not, then I have been talking to myself for a quick minute at this point in time. I have indeed, if that is the case. And so I believe it's just a refresh there, Kukla. And so for anyone else that may be having an issue, of course, you may not be seeing me. Michael A., that is the reason that I am bullish on XRP. When it comes down to it, Ripple is at the forefront of the tokenization of assets industry, and that leads towards fractionalization of assets and so many other things. And that industry is expected to be worth $10 trillion in a matter of 6 years, where it currently is essentially worthless. If XRP were to take advantage of their current lead, I would say that they would be the majority controller of that industry. And so if we just went ahead and went with the very basics, that would put XRP at a valuation in terms of tokenized assets at around $5 trillion. That would be a very large increase in the price of Ripple, an extremely large increase in the price of Ripple. We'd be talking about going to a valuation of well over $100, and then that being essentially it just representing the total value locked on the blockchain. Do I know this to be a fact? I do not. Other companies, I believe, have superior products because they follow more in line with my moral values in terms of how they operate. But I am not going to sit back and be the one person going on the sidelines and saying, no, 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 I'm not going to participate, and watching everyone else benefit. That does not sound like fun either. I can take those dollars and I can do quality things with them, or I could just, put food on the table. So I do hold Ripple. I'm planning on buying more Ripple during this live stream. So it is one where I am very, very hesitant of what the company intends, but I am very confident that the price is going up. Felix the Cat, Ripple, XRP, Stellar, XLM. I hold both. I hold both. They're both focused on essentially the exact same task, though. And that's something that I think is important for everyone to know, because I know there have been a lot of rumors out there that they're going to focus on different assets and tokenizing different real world assets. And when you go and you look at what they as companies are saying, they're focused on essentially solving the same problem. And that means that right now, XRP and XLM are essentially the forerunners of tokenizing assets. It's going to be huge. Who's going to win? Most likely XRP. They have more money. They have had more experience, more time in the markets. I would guess XRP will have a larger market share than XLM in the long run, but technology, innovation could change that. Stellar can come out with a solution faster, in which case that entire logic could end up shifting. Entire logic could end up shifting. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and jump in because we have an awesome market to check out today. Things have been going particularly well. And of course, I say that, and then we picked the moment that everything decided to go red for a second. But we are looking at Bitcoin over 69,000. We've broken 70K a few times. And the large reason that this is occurring is because of Ethereum, actually. Ethereum ETFs are set to be approved potentially tomorrow. And when it comes down to it, that is what's really pushing the bullish sentiment. And so 75% of all votes have already come in terms of the Ethereum ETF, and it is set to most likely be announced either tomorrow or on Friday. This is kind of one of those situations where investors have bought the rumor. The rumor is the Ethereum ETFs will end up being approved in the next few days. That is what everyone is looking forward to. That's why the markets are so happy at the moment. And we are seeing a very, very massive or steady increase, particularly in Ethereum. Ethereum managed to do 23.5% in 7 days, and it did the vast majority of that in the past 48 hours. And so if you held any tokens that are on the Ethereum blockchain or held Ethereum, you have most likely done very, very well in the past 48 hours. I know that was something that was very, very exciting for myself, and I'm certain that there are others in the community that are in a similar situation. And yeah. Well, Michael A. Zester, do you see XRP being bought back from the public? Michael, this is an interesting question because I don't see XRP being bought by a government. That to me doesn't add up. What does make sense though is when you tokenize assets on the XRPL, the XRP blockchain, you will then need XRP to tokenize the asset, and you'll need XRP to send the asset. And so I don't foresee any government coming in and buying it in massive amounts. But every government and corporation that wants to use assets that are tokenized on the XRP blockchain are going to have to pay in XRP to do so. And that means there would be an extremely large demand by banks, corporations, countries to purchase XRP in order to pay for sending their tokenized assets, for tokenizing assets in the first place. In the same way that Shiba Inu, a meme coin, one of the dogs, is on the Ethereum blockchain. And so you need Ethereum to send Shiba. Without Ethereum, your Shiba can never leave your wallet. Think about this in the same light with XRP, where tokenized silver or tokenized gold would need you to be able to pay fees in the native cryptocurrency, which would drive an extreme degree of demand for the native cryptocurrency. So that's where I would look towards it, where you see it's not that anyone is going to just buy all the XRP. That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. But what could happen, and what XRP themselves as a company have said they're doing, is that they are planning on everyone needing to show up to buy XRP in order to utilize the actual tokenized assets, because XRP will never be backed by gold or silver as a token, but it could be used to transfer and to tokenize these other real world assets. And now when I say it never will, if they massively change their business model, things could change. It could be made into a crypto where it is backed by precious metals, but most likely what's most likely going to be done with it is it will be utilized to transfer these real world assets. Petrichor Ranch, I'm here to learn how they work so I can figure out how to maneuver around them for as long as possible. I still am not a fan of all this digital money. Sorry, Zester, I do appreciate the education. Well, Petrichor, that's no problem at all. As a matter of fact, that's what's the most important thing about learning about crypto. We need to understand how it works. You don't need to go buying it. you're going to own it regardless of whether you want to or not. And so I don't suggest to everyone that they have to go out there and purchase crypto, but you are going to have to understand how it works. That part isn't an option. The purchasing it part, at least nowadays, is definitely optional. All right, though, guys. Think that we are caught up. Dwayne, can both XRP and XLM do cross-border transactions? They are both designed towards tokenizing real-world assets. So they operate under essentially the exact same model. Their technology is not different. And so both XRP or XLM can operate as a cross-border currency. In terms of a cross-border, shouldn't say that, as a cross-border facilitator, not currency, a facilitator of cross-border transactions. That they absolutely can, Dwayne. They both fulfill the same goals, essentially. All right, though, guys. All right. So over to our Coinbase earn. Of course, we haven't had a lot more come in, but we did go ahead and rotate away. And remember last time, guys, we ended up rotating over and actually purchasing XRP with our funds. And so we bought about $103 worth of XRP, and that is what we rotated our staking rewards that just weren't earning enough for us towards. And what we're going to be doing even further today is we're actually going to be showing people a little bit about moving XRP and moving some cryptos around and utilizing a service that I did make a video about. But I don't know how many people really got to see it. I released a lot of videos that day. It kind of ended up overwhelming everything. And so we are going to go through, and real quick, before we jump into the news, we're just going to have a little bit of a in-person lesson occur. And so I think this is a tool everyone here will benefit from understanding and knowing about, and it is Changelly. Changelly is a service that allows you to immediately go from any blockchain to another blockchain without having to figure everything out, without having to do anything extra. It does charge higher fees. Of course, whenever there's, whenever things are made easy for you guys, remember there is a cost that is going to be associated with it. But so we are going to go ahead and we're going to actually make we're going to go ahead and log into my ledger. And so that's what I'm currently doing. If my cord was long enough, I would let everyone watch if it weren't for the password thing that, I'm supposed to keep secret. And so I'm going ahead and logging in to it. And what we are going to do today is we are going to actually use Changelly to go from Bitcoin to XRP directly. And so I hope that this one serves extremely, extremely useful purposes for the community, because this is probably the easiest thing that I have managed to find out there in terms of being able to transfer between two different ones. And so we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to take, let's say 0.01 of this Bitcoin, and we are going to transfer it directly to XRP. And how we are going to do that is via Changelly. And so we are going to go from Bitcoin to XRP. And so everything you see in terms of this video will be the same way for any other cryptocurrency that you would choose to utilize or choose to swap between. This is just me using Bitcoin in this situation. It wouldn't matter whatever one I used. Doesn't matter. Notice I have not connected any wallet to this website. So I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to send 0.01 Bitcoin. I want 1,303 XRP. Exchange now. So it is now going to ask me to provide a XRP recipient address. And so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look for, I guess, Zester's XRP here. We're going to click the receive button. on. We're loading. I think that we're on the right one, but we may have to swap wallets for a second to get this address. So that in and of itself is not optimal, but we'll be all right. Yep. That was it. We're going to have to swap over to a different wallet in order to get into to receive our XRP address. And so let me get that logged in very quick. And we are in. And so what we're here for is we want our XRP address to utilize with Changelly. And here it is. So we now have our XRP address. We've got PQ4R. We're going to go ahead and place that in the recipient address. Now that we have that actually in the right place, we're going to go back over to our original Bitcoin wallet. And we're going to send Bitcoin to Changelly, and we are going to magically have XRP pop out on the other side. And that's the reason I wanted everyone to see this service, because I very often have people ask, how do I transfer this to this or this to this? And there are always the most efficient ways to go about it. Always. But what Changelly provides is it provides the easiest way to go about this. And so we are going to go ahead and go through the easy route, essentially, in terms of what we do here. And so now that we have done that one, we should have everything here. And oh, really? So when utilizing Changelly, they do require a destination tag. It is not necessary in the fact that they're asking. It's not how the technology works, but when it comes down to it, you just do what they ask. So let's go back and let's acquire that destination tag real quick. But for anyone that is sitting with an asset, a crypto asset that is not specifically what they want or something of that nature, Changelly is going to be your easiest way to actually solve that problem. All right. All right, though. Why is it not providing us with a destination address? That is definitely an issue on their part. All right. I was clicking the wrong button. So, all on Zach. All right. We have gone ahead and we've got everything set up here. We are now going to be able to actually click next step. And when we do, what Changelly is going to have us do from our side is it's going to have us send it the Bitcoin that we asked for. So it's going to have us send it 0.01 BTC. And in return, it's going to send 1,303 XRP to our XRP wallet. And so these wallets aren't connected to their service. We're not currently logged in or anything of that nature. Changelly doesn't know who I am. For all Changelly is concerned, I am just a random person online. But what will occur is we will get our XRP, and we will get it without anyone essentially knowing that we have it. And so if you ever are concerned about the tax bills or anything of that nature, services like Changelly allow you to essentially transfer from one crypto to another without anyone knowing what crypto you bought. So if you ever are concerned in regards to things of that nature, it is a way to kind of circumnavigate the system. And so we have gone ahead and we've got that set up. We're going to click next step. And what they are now asking us to do is they want us to send the 0.01 BTC. And so we're going to go ahead and click copy address. We're going to come over here to our BTC wallet, and we are going to go to send. We are going to go ahead and copy and paste the address they provided. Remember, we always check the last 4 digits. So that is 0S8H. We go ahead and click continue. We make certain that we typed in just the right amount, which is 0.01 BTC. And now we are going to go ahead and click continue and then continue again. And now I'm going to have to verify on my Ledger hardware wallet. So as soon as everything lines up, review output, approve, we should now be well on our way and confirm transaction. Transaction is broadcasting. Transaction is sent. All right. So now that we have done that, we are going to now just be waiting a couple of minutes, and we should be receiving our XRP inside of our XRP wallet over here when all we had was Bitcoin to start with. And that's the reason that I wanted to reiterate this tool, because it's an extremely useful one for whenever you do have a crypto and you're confused about how do I transfer it over into something else. This is one of those ways where you can very, very simply do it. They're going to charge you more than other services would. But when you start to think about the amount of time saved and just the general ease, it does become a very, very tantalizing offer. And so as you can see, our page has changed here. Confirmation is in progress. And we're going to jump back here in just a little bit once we go through some news. And so this transfer will probably only take a couple of minutes, but we're still going to go ahead and keep going through with the news as we wait so that we're not sitting here staring at a circle rotating. So right here, though, guys, Trump campaign starts taking cryptocurrency donations, vows to build a crypto army. The Trump campaign announced on Tuesday that it will be accepting crypto donations. This announcement ties President Joe Biden, who is running for re-election against former President Trump, with arch crypto critic Senator Elizabeth Warren. Definitely, Biden has got enough bad publicity. The last thing he needs is to be associated with Elizabeth Warren. But this move is just Trump's latest bid to court the crypto crowd. And it is working. It is working. MAGA supporters, now with a new cryptocurrency option, will build a crypto army, moving the campaign to victory on November 5th. This really is huge news, guys, in terms of the amount of money. I know we've been talking about it a lot, and it's for good reason. It's going to make a difference in the election. As we see here, Biden surrogate Elizabeth Warren said in an attack on cryptocurrency that she was building an anti-crypto army to restrict Americans' right to make their own financial decisions. And so he is making a direct connection between Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden. And so that is Trump that is doing this in terms of making the connection. And I think that it is extremely, extremely wise. Something that I would say that is kind of one of those things that everyone associates crypto with. The acceptance of crypto is just the latest in a string of Trump efforts to navigate the crypto community, which tends to skew younger and more male. Now, of course, that is not always the case, but that is typically when you look at the demographics of who owns cryptocurrency, they do tend to fit the demographic. But I was very, very excited to see this one, guys. We are seeing the Republican, the conservative side is making a stance on crypto, and it's going to be extremely influential when we look towards the future, because it's a lot of money and we know it's going to be growing. Think about when tokenized assets become a huge thing. Who do you think is going to be the demographics that are purchasing gold and silver and all of these other tokenized assets that are going to be utilized in global financial markets? Most likely it's going to be the people that were buying gold and silver in the first place. The only difference is their money is going to be liquid now. They're going to be able to really benefit from being precious metal holders. All right. Continuing forward, though, breaking. Bloomberg analysts who previously said it was impossible gave the good news. Ethereum spot ETFs may be approved in the coming days. And so this is expected for tomorrow. There are a lot of people claiming that the vote will be finished and that the Ethereum ETF will be approved. And so when we come back and we look at the recent price increases, this was a really, really big reason behind all of these green charts. All of these green charts are coming from the fact that Ethereum ETFs could be approved. That could easily send Ethereum up even higher than it is now. Most analysts' expectations are Ethereum at $8,000 by the end of the year. Of course, we will have to wait and see. Overcoming victory. Zester, is Changelly a way to buy more XRP in New York since I can't trade it here? In other words, a workaround. Well, overcoming victory, I would just say if you happened to own Ethereum and you happened to have a VPN that said you weren't in New York, that you may or may not be able to just immediately transact right into XRP. And so overcoming victory, while I am in no way endorsing eluding the laws of any general state, yes, you can. You absolutely can. You can purchase your XRP with no issues. All you would need to do is actually own some crypto in the first place, and then you could transact it in to any of the cryptocurrencies that they provide. The only caveat may be if you are in New York, the VPN may be necessary. In all honesty, though, Victory, I don't think it would be. I think if you just went directly over there, you could probably utilize that service right away with nothing else. You can trade into XRP, no problem. So that is another thing that Changelly can make very, very easy for folks, where it just kind of takes all of the thought process out of it. You're able to get your XRP or the crypto you want without having to jump through all the hurdles. Oh, but look, everybody else is trying to jump on board. Bipartisan support of cryptocurrency is resurging in Congress, and here's why. Well, really, when it comes down to here's why, it's because the Democratic Party realizes that they have dug a hole, and Donald Trump kind of presented them with a Trump card and said, well, I fully support and endorse crypto. Now the Democrats are having to really, really flounder in terms of the entire situation because they just saw massive amounts of money leave the Democratic Party. That money is flowing over to the Republican Party, and you know what politicians care a lot about? They care a lot about the money in their pockets. They don't care a lot about what they waste our money on, but they tend to care a lot about what their money gets wasted on. And so they noticed that their money started to dry up, and now they've started to change their tune. Hopefully, it is too late. Hopefully, it is too late. Actually, I would say it is too late because they're not going to be able to take back the statements that they've made in the past, not while they have Donald Trump out there touting the crypto movement. They're just not going to be able to change that one. Now, another one that I thought was very important for everyone here. World Economic Forum warns that CBDCs could be vulnerable to quantum computer attack. Q-Day gets closer with every quantum computing breakthrough. This is probably one of the first times that I've actually seen in what is considered to be the mainstream news a reference to quantum computing in regards to central bank digital currencies. I think that this is definitely a telling article. One thing I would say is that whenever you hear about QFS or a quantum financial system, keep in mind that is just a blockchain. That is a cryptocurrency. That just happens to be a cryptocurrency that is resistant to quantum computing. The important part about this is not that the financial system is quantum. The important part is that the financial system is quantum resistant in that it cannot be defeated by a quantum computer. That is very important. And that is what should really be focused on. And that also means that you got to always kind of keep keep a part of your mind aware that whenever you hear the terms CBDC or QFS, they are saying the same exact thing. Those two definitions are not dissimilar in any form or fashion. And the very word quantum in terms of a financial system is still somewhat vague. And when you talk about quantum computing, it's an extremely vague and ill-defined term. Its meaning is clear. Its meaning is obvious. It's a different level of computing. It's a next level of computing. But the actual technological definition is something where each computer scientist you talk to is going to give you a slightly different definition. But yes, even the World Economic Forum is out there now saying, maybe you should be a little bit worried about CBDCs. Keep in mind, the World Economic Forum has also partnered with a multitude of different crypto companies in order to research CBDCs. So they're spending money developing them while at the same time telling us that we should be worried about them. That's an interesting circle of logic. But yes, Ethereum ETF confirmed. VanEck spot Ether ETF listed by DTCC. And this is an extremely, extremely positive sign. So when you've been looking at the price increases for the crypto market right here, Ethereum ETF, that is the reasoning behind our current increase, or at least that's what's being associated with. And so keep that one in mind, guys, that most likely this is one of those where investors are buying the rumor and they may or may not sell the news. So proceed with a certain degree of caution in regards to the general price increases, because they are being primarily pushed by Ethereum right now. Ethereum is pushing the whole market upwards as we see massive amounts of dollars flowing in. All right, though. Let's go back and see if our transaction has confirmed. It has not. So we are still waiting over here in regards to our transaction. Hopefully we get that one in the next 10 minutes, because I will have to end at that point in order to start getting ready for Whiskey and Wisdom. But we have an extremely important vote that is ongoing. Actually, I think that it may be ongoing at the moment. At the very moment. SEC Chair Gensler opposes today's FIT21 vote, yet White House calls no veto. Remember, we had already discussed this, where Biden had claimed that he would veto any of the actions against the SEC's accounting rule 21. And now Biden has backed off. And so Biden is no longer saying that he will veto it. He is merely saying he doesn't approve of it. Whereas the SEC is saying it's a terrible idea. Whenever Joe Biden and the SEC agree that something is a terrible idea, I assume it's a brilliant idea. And so my support for the opposite, for FIT21 is massively increasing every time they come out here and they tell me that it's bad. If Joe Biden and Gary Gensler think it's bad, I assume this thing must be a miracle. And so I am in full support based off of nothing more than the logic of, well, if they think it's a bad idea, it must be a good idea. And when you actually look at the rule, the accounting policy was a massive overreach by the SEC. The SEC was trying to go ahead and create precedent for them to be able to influence digital currencies in the future. And luckily, the Republican House and Senate managed to push through the bill that will take away that ability from the SEC. And that was extremely important. I am very, very pleased with that. And I'm not displeased that there was bipartisan support. There were 12 Democratic senators that voted with 48 Republicans in order to get this through the Senate. That I am not going to not be appreciative just because of the letter that comes before their name in terms of the ballot. When it comes down to it, 12 Democrats woke up and did the right thing. That's amazing news. And so very, very excited to get the results on this one, because It is. It's a silly, silly thing. And it is. Notably, the U.S. House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on the bill later today, May 22nd. So we are supposed to be getting that information today. Michael A says, I use Uphold at the moment and find it super easy for someone just starting out in crypto. Your thoughts? Michael, Uphold is very, very easy to use. The thing that I would say to anyone that is using Uphold is not that Uphold is a bad place to buy your crypto. The fees are higher than Coinbase, so you are spending more money than you would on Coinbase. But what I would say, besides just the slightly higher fees, it's easy, it's accessible, you can use a debit or a credit card. Michael, the only thing that I think is very important is that people don't hold their crypto on Uphold. When you buy on Uphold, take it off of that centralized exchange, put it onto a wallet where you're the only one that owns the keys to it. Otherwise, if Uphold is the one that's easy, use it. When it comes down to it, absolutely, I really enjoyed using Uphold. The fees are a little bit higher, but I enjoyed it. The only important thing is just to make certain that people don't buy and then just leave it on Uphold. That is the only thing that I think is important to keep in mind. But otherwise, I would keep using it, Michael. I do. I still use Uphold after going through and learning about it, and I do not expect for that to change. All right, though, guys, back over to a little bit of AI news, a little bit of artificial intelligence news. We've seen that everything is looking pretty popular over here in terms of the crypto. But in regards to AI, we see that AI is coming into your houses now. Amazon plans to give Alexa an AI overhaul, and they expect you to pay for it. And so look forward to getting that one, although I imagine there probably aren't too many Alexa owners in the community. I bet there are some, and I've talked with Alexa before. Very, very irritating. I assume the AI is going to help. But yes, it is going to be releasing into everyone's homes. And so think about that, guys. Remember, we talked about you got to keep an eye on AI. AI in everyone's Alexa. That's AI in everyone's home. It's going to be listening to everything. It's going to be learning everything. 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so I would say with this little move, I officially will not be going into the house of anyone that owns an Alexa. So if you own an Alexa, I'm out. I'm sorry. We're going to have to go hang out somewhere else. I am not interested in being made into free data for the AI to learn from. But I am certain so many people, the convenience of this is going to sell people on it. It's going to be so easy. All you have to do is say, hey, Alexa, do all of my email work for the day. Yes, of course, I'll go up and do it. Alexa's going to have no problem. Hey, Alexa, go balance my checkbook. Alexa's just going to go off and do it. She's going to know everything about you anyway. And that is going to be the selling point. It's going to be a matter of ease of use. Alexa is going to make things so simple that people are going to be willing to give up their privacy in order to have that ease. I wish it weren't so, but I know it's so. I know it's so. People will happily give up their privacy for very, very slight gains. It doesn't make sense to me, but well, it seems to just be the way the world works. All right, though, continuing forward, 1 month after launch, AI pen maker Humane seeks $1 billion sale. So I actually have this article up here just to show people the amount of money that is flowing in to artificial intelligence. You know, right now, the two booming industries on the planet are crypto and AI. And right now, everybody and their mother is throwing every dime or dollar. They are digging into their kids' piggy banks in order to buy anything that says AI or says tokenized asset. Right now, they're huge. And this company presented an AI pen that, by all accounts, does not work that well. And it's $700. And they are now asking, only 1 month after launch, for someone to show up and pay $1 billion for the company. We have entered into definitely something that I think is reminiscent of the internet boom and bust of the late 90s and early 2000s, where it seems like we have got a lot of investors, a lot of companies that are just willing to throw money at anything that has the hype buzzwords of AI, crypto, tokenized assets. If they have those things in the name, there's somebody with money that would love to give it to you. And so this, in this case, is a pen designed to actually help people that have hearing and sight difficulties. And so it's an extremely good idea. The AI is reportedly capable of, for someone that is blind, it is capable of describing everything that is in front of them in real time into an ear set. And then for someone that is deaf, it is capable of then representing and indicating any dangers that maybe they are not hearing around them or things of that nature. Those are very, very good aspirations. Those are extremely positive goals. Extremely positive goals. And so those are the type of things that we have to keep in mind. AI can change the world for so many people, but at what cost? At what cost? And this is one of those situations where we see what people with money think is important. Right now, people with money think crypto and AI is what's important. And people with money tend to be right in the long run. If they're not right, they just pay to be right. All right, though. The OpenAI board was right. And this one is particularly funny. And so, ChatGPT 4 Omni, which was the most recent update that just came out with a new voice. And it just so happens that voice sounds a lot like Scarlett Johansson. And so Scarlett Johansson then went online and made some very, very long and lengthy posts and essentially forced ChatGPT to remove the voice from their platform. But with this most recent update, ChatGPT and the AI is capable of responding in speech. And one of the voices happened to be a voice that was a very, very breathy Scarlett Johansson. And that, needless to say, resulted in a backlash with the woke internet getting very, very angry that anyone would consider stealing ScarJo's voice. She made some lengthy posts, and needless to say, a large part of the internet came to back her up, saying that it's not appropriate for you to take someone else's voice and do what you want with it. Now, while I would agree from a privacy standpoint that it is not okay to take someone's voice without their consent, it also is one of those things where it's a matter of the genie is already out of the bottle and anybody can do it. And so I don't really see the point in Scarlett Johansson getting upset about it because the genie's out of the bottle. It doesn't matter. It's already kind of lost. I understand if it was something where her saying to Sam Altman, the CEO of ChatGPT, of OpenAI, hey, I don't want you to use this. If he was the only one that could make an AI model that utilized a specific person's speech, I would understand. In the long run, every celebrity, every influencer type, everybody that has spoken long enough online or provided enough of their face online can easily be utilized by an artificial intelligence. It's no longer something where we really have a choice in the matter. If you have a lot of time speaking online in recordings or anything of the nature, an AI can have your voice. They can take your appearance. Is it right? No, it's not right. It's not right. It shouldn't be legal. It never should be legal. But it also is kind of like complaining about at the clouds about rain. I can complain as much as I want. It's not going to stop the rain. And that in and of itself it's definitely one of those situations where you feel kind of hopeless in the whole thing. You can't stop it, and no one really can, but you want to. You don't want it to happen. I don't want anyone to take my. I'm live right now. I'm speaking. People can see my face. They can see me making emotive expressions. I could take an AI and make an AI replicate me. I don't like that. I don't like any part of that. I don't want that to happen. I don't think it should be allowed to be happening. But I also am a realist in the sense that I understand that it really isn't my choice in the matter. I don't really have a choice. If I want to go hide on top of a mountain with no internet, no cell phone, no electricity, I can do that. If I'm not willing to do that, then I have to accept that some of these other things are going to occur. And that is not fun. Is not fun. Not in the slightest. Mary Jones, no Alexa here. Does Siri listen to? Absolutely. Siri is always listening. And Siri has already got a mild AI update. And so, Mary Jones, do understand when you speak in front of your iPhone, which I use an iPhone, when you speak in front of your iPhone, an artificial intelligence is listening. And it is learning. The original Mark. See, that actually sounds good to me. That life on top of a mountain, no electricity, no anything. It does. It does. An NM hiker, the most expensive commodity, privacy. I have a feeling that it will not be too far in the future where the only way to be private will be to live in a Faraday cage. That to me at some point is probably going to be the only way if you truly don't want anyone listening or watching. It's probably going to be in a Faraday cage. And yeah, no, I'm not letting any Alexa in the house either, Couplet. No worries on that one. There's enough ways for them to listen and learn about me. All right, though. What we do have, and what I think was an interesting one, and we just have 2 more articles today, guys, and then I'm going to go get ready for Whiskey and Wisdom later. And one is, should you buy and hold an AI portfolio? The lesson from internet stocks. And so remember what we were talking about earlier, where we're seeing that boom, where people are willing to pay $1 billion for a company that isn't making any money and are making a pin that serve a very, very specific and concentrated use case. That is the reason that people need to be concerned. Right now, AI stocks are going to be going nuts. Anything with AI in the name is doing well. But we have to keep in mind that most people that participated in the original internet 1999 boom did not come out unscathed. And so there will be companies right now that end up dominating the industry in the coming years. Picking the right one is not going to be simple. And so whenever you see that, hey, the must buy AI stock and things of that nature, keep in mind that is an advertising plan that is not necessarily because there's a ton of analysts that believe it's going to happen. They just know, they've learned. They can sell us on hype, and we're going to get hyped up over a pen that is very, very important, but serves a very niche case. And after 1 month where they haven't had sales, they now expect to receive $1 billion for it. That is definitely the sign of a market that has lost its foundation. We are no longer talking logically or based off of fundamentals. We are talking based off of speculation and a fear of missing out. And OpenAI secures key partnership with Reddit. For those that have not used Reddit a lot, Reddit is probably one of the most important social medias out there, in that Reddit is a very, very different community. It is essentially it's a bunch of know-it-alls and a bunch of nerds all got together. That is Reddit. It's know-it-alls and nerds. Know-it-alls, nerds, and people that want to benefit off of the knowledge of all the know-it-alls and nerds. And I say that as a Reddit user, so do not think that I am insulting anyone in any form or fashion, at least not unless I am insulting myself at the same time. And what it does, though, is Reddit is an essentially entirely written social media. There are very few photos. You can embed photos, you can embed videos, but mainly it's a written social media. And this OpenAI partnership would allow ChatGPT complete access to all of Reddit's posts and all of its social media interactions. That could be extremely powerful. That could be extremely powerful. And that could definitely allow for the AI to learn more about how we're feeling on a daily basis. And so wanted to include these articles and definitely wanted to give that warning to everyone. Whenever you hear the hype behind AI investment, is it a good idea? Probably in a lot of cases it is. But there are going to be a lot of failed companies in the beginning of this. There are going to be companies that come out with use cases like the pen that just do not end up working. The pen is having massive battery issues and seems to be overheating. So the last thing you need is to have a vision or a hearing issue, and also have an issue with third-degree burns from the little AI pen that was supposed to help. And so all of these things need to be kept in mind as we proceed forward. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have hit a point where I need to run off. My apologies for the issues with the power earlier. I am struggling very much so with the current house that is being rented in terms of the power. Very, very soon, I will be in my own place that I can actually have a little more control over and make certain these things don't continue to happen. But for right now, having to deal with what comes my way. And so my apologies. And I hope it didn't take too much away from the show. But thank you guys so much. And I will look forward to seeing everyone over on Whiskey and Wisdom at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I definitely can't wait for it today. So thank you guys. See you there.